I go to sleep every single night thinking I'm not good enough. I really do. I don't know if that's healthy or not, but I really do have a fear of not being good, and I don't like that. Tomorrow's not promised, so you've really got to take advantage of what you have in the present. I never played for the money. I literally played for the love of the game. I try to envision what life is after basketball, but I just see myself working out and just being a basketball player still. I am bilingual. I always wanted to be a dentist. I'm lucky to have Penny around, she keeps the ship afloat. I now know I can live without basketball. I'm a first-generation American. My mother is from Argentina. My father is from Italy. When my dad was around 5 or 6, his family migrated to Argentina. That's where he met my mom. They got married, and moved to Los Angeles, North Hollywood, to be exact. Records are always meant to be broken. You work for the WNBA. Obviously, they want us to prioritize the WNBA as being #1 on our list, but the reality is other people are paying the bills. That's the way it is. For as many championships that I've won, I've been on a lot of teams that haven't won one. I can only speak from experience, but as a little kid I remember Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, Dawn Staley and Cynthia Cooper. I remember the mainstream media being involved and how much exposure they received. I heard I was the self-proclaimed White Mamba, which I can say I have never self-proclaimed myself anything. Everyone calls me D. I never need to be motivated to be on the court. That's the one thing that comes very naturally to me. Once you make a mistake and put the control of your life in someone else's hands, it's scary. My dad woke up at 5:30 every morning, every single day, and drove an hour and a half to work. My mom was constantly working odd jobs, whether it was at Sizzler or babysitting. I didn't realize how hard they work. Most kids rarely do, but they were building something for us. I just knew I wanted to play basketball for as long as I could. People say, "How would you do in the men's game?" I say, "Give me a man's frame, and I think I'd do okay." I'm not a Russian sympathizer, but after being in Russia for that long many years, look, the way they think isn't wrong, it's just different. A lot of teams with expectations crumble. You have to have people around you that motivate you, that you want to play really hard for and always play at the highest level. I fell in love with the LeBron 10s, I wore those for about 5.5 years and I didn't switch over until the 14s. When I foul, I'm gonna make sure you know I'm fouling. I have been really lucky to learn and play with the best in the game. It makes one go to a different level. I never complain when I foul, ever. I always had really good teachers, that were always about more than what was in the books. Those little advice and tips can set you down the right path in your life. I didn't do an individual workout until I was 25. I've played in 4 Olympics. I'm grateful for that. Every time I see my life without basketball, I get a little scared, and I try to put a little more into it. Personal relationships become really hard when you're away from home and long distance. The way I was playing year-round was breaking me down physically and mentally. I've always loved passing the basketball, making other people better. You hit a certain age and it's, are you still motivated to play? It's the motivation, the drive that kind of leads you, and the body goes, too. Who's going to want to hire me in the business world? I have no work experience. I like the Ronaldo Flyknits even though I'm a Messi fan. If there was a basketball rehab, I'd be the first one admitted. My favorite basketball shoe is the 92 Nike Uptempo, white/black/turquoise, or you can go with the all black/white, which I loved. Any league that talks about that, they care about their players, is lying. Sometimes you invest in things that don't make money yet, but you want to make them better. I've gone left 90% of my career, guess what, I still go left. Off the court, I like my Flyknits. I'm going to do everything I can to play at a high level. I say this to a lot of my good friends, the minute you see that I suck, tell me and I'm out. Instead of lying to me, someone let me know. When I first arrived at UConn, I told myself I was going to dedicate my life to basketball. And when you do something like that, you alienate a lot of other things in your life that most people think are normal things to do. I didn't set out to win Olympic medals, to play at UConn, to play in the WNBA. I just love to play basketball. It's really very simple. Then when you start thinking about those other things, that's when thinking gets complicated. No matter if my dad had to work, or my sister was gone until 7, or I had basketball practice until 8, we always ate together. I think that's a big part of the Hispanic family, the culture. That is key to our existence, really. I played because I love to compete. I love being on the court. Every training I want to prove myself, every practice. It's funny, there's all these slogans like, "You're never too old to keep dreaming." You know, it's funny how in the basketball world, and in the business world where you're just supposed to stop. In the sports world, I feel like at 35 you're just supposed to stop. If you do, that's great. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.